Welcome to another episode of Mental Odyssey. Today, what's your fucking deal, bud?
Shasta drinking through the headphones.
Today we're going to start the podcast off with Shasta being a thirsty bitch. Anyway, today I am accompanied by someone that I want to introduce you guys to for the first time. My husband, Tom.
Is it the first time? I've been on here before. Just first time.
It's your first time as my husband.
Yeah. And it's first time that you're my wife on a podcast.
Husband.
Yep.
Yeah, we got married a month ago today. Where has the time gone?
Couldn't tell you.
It's crazy because the time just like rushed in. Like it was like August and then we were married. And now we're a month out and it feels like it was last week.
And we're almost halfway through the year.
We are almost halfway through the year. Tax season.
Dude, it's going to be fucking Christmas again soon.
Literally.
It sneaks up on me every year.
Halloween first.
Yeah, that's Heath and Amy's wedding.
Our
right?
birthdays. Your birthday is coming up next month.
Yeah. And then we're going to be camping.
And next
month
month is a week away.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Married life. How's married life treating you?
No different than my daily life. Because
Really?
I was married to you in my heart long before a month ago.
Oh, dearie.
So.
How sweet.
It's just, what day is this? Sunday? It's just another Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep. Another Sunday I get to spend with my wife.
Oh.
So you had some topics you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that married life for me, thanks for asking.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I should ask you. How's married life, dearie? How's it going?
It has been wonderful.
Yeah.
It has felt a lot different than what I anticipated.
How so?
Because, like, we've been living together for quite some time. And I didn't think that it would feel much different. But it does. Like, not in, like, a... Like, it's hard to even describe. Like, it's, like, another level of security that I haven't felt. It's almost like before you were my fiance, you were like my potential future, and now you're like
I am
my
future.
nuclear family.
Yeah.
Like you are like my next generation of nuclear family. Like you are.
You know what nuclear family is?
Yeah, your mom, dad, your brothers and sisters.
I think it's
I Googled it
brother, sister,
last week.
and then a dog.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The
you
nuclear
think
family.
Your dog is a part of the nuclear family?
Well, I'm thinking of a poster from back in the 60s when they're
I
like,
am not
you see
talking about
the
that.
mom, the dad, the one boy, one girl, and a family dog with a white picket fence. Isn't that the nuclear family?
No. The nuclear family is like the nucleus, I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
All right,
Let me
we're
look
looking
this
it
up.
Again.
Nuclear family. A nuclear, spelled like nuclear.
That's how you spell nuclear.
A nuclear family, elementary family, cereal packet family.
What in the fuck?
Or conjugal family is a family group consisting of parents and their children, typically living in one home residence.
Okay.
They don't say shit about the dog.
Okay. So it could, but it's not really the definition.
Like we are creating the next generation, our generation of nuclear family together.
We are. That's crazy.
And you're like the person that I chose to do that with.
I am.
And I'm the person that you chose to do that with.
You are.
And that's what feels different. Because up till now, it's just been like, yeah, I would definitely marry you.
You know what? Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about the way that both of us got engaged prior to you and me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because that's whack. I felt pressured as hell. Like, my ex, who will not be named on this podcast for the sake of her privacy, was pressuring me to propose, and I did it in like the most bullshit way, the most appeasing way, in my old apartment living room at like midnight, right before I went to bed. And I did not feel like I was getting engaged at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like, I knew I was making an error, and I did it anyway.
See, mine was not that. I also did not really feel like I got engaged. Like, there wasn't like butterflies necessarily, because I was definitely worried about what other people were going to say, because everyone from the outside saw how detrimental that relationship was to me and was like, you are not marrying this dude.
Same.
And so I had a lot of like voices in my head of other people being like, oh, you're going to marry him? But like, in all honesty, I was over that relationship at month 6. Like emotionally, I had had enough, and then I pushed forward for another 2.5 years, trying to hold space for him to be the person that I expected him to be.
That's an interesting way to put it.
That's exactly what it was. I was like expecting him to be somebody that he was never going to be, and needing him to be that person, and it just was never going to happen. So I was always disappointed.
Codependency is a bitch, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But I am very glad that that didn't happen. I mean, we were engaged for 2.5 years, and we
Holy
never
shit,
talked about
really?
plans of a wedding. Yeah.
Oh.
It was very
Robert.
much like, I want to say that it was more in a like I claim you sense rather than like a promise thing. You know, it was like he wanted me to.
So it was slightly more serious than a promise ring,
Yes.
but not quite an engagement ring.
Yeah. And it was interesting because at that time in my life, I very much wanted another nuclear family to like bounce to. Like, I wanted to be involved in that. And that's why he seemed like a good option, because he was a dad of 2 kids. He had his own place. Like, he had a good job. He
You were
seemed to have
graduating
a
high school early.
Yeah, like I graduated high school early. It was like meant to be. Like, I needed a place to go because I could not stay at my parents' house anymore. Like, I like had to get out.
Yeah.
I was just like, my skin was crawling to just like leave. Itching.
Yeah.
I was itching.
You're
That's
itching
a good
to
way of
leave.
saying it. Yeah. And he was like a good place to go. And I wanted to like fit into his family so bad. Like the little family that he had created.
How'd you guys meet?
Taylor.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You've told me that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, kind of, but like he hit me up on Facebook and was like, hey, have you seen my bitch ass brother? Because that's how he talks about him. That should have been a red flag, talking to my best friend that way.
I mean,
but-
I've said that about Joey once or twice.
Yeah, but I don't know. It should have been a red flag because he was being an asshole. It wasn't like an endearing thing.
Oh.
Like, anyway. But yeah, he hit me up on Facebook and I was like, no, I don't know where he's at. And then he was like, anyway, how are you?
Oh, have you seen, as in like, where's he at versus,
Yeah.
hey, look at my bitch ass brother. You want to date him?
No.
That's what I was thinking.
No, it was my ex who reached out and was like, hey, we're looking for Taylor. Where the fuck is he? And I was like, I literally have no idea. He's not with me. So
I see.
And then he just like hard skirted to be like, hey, so.
Well, since you're not
now
looking
that
for
I've
my
broken the
brother and you're
ice.
not occupied.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So
Anyway, back to the point.
yes. You know, actually, before we do get back to the point about our engagement, I actually did have some butterflies when I proposed to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie.
Yeah. Because, like, you know how I am when I get a perfect vision in my mind and I try to create that. and anything that falls short of it, which often it does,
Yes.
is going to upset me.
Driving anywhere.
Not, well.
You expect all green lights. You expect nobody to drive like an asshole. You expect nobody to turn right on G-Way.
No, I expect that they're going to, but it's not any
You
less
don't expect
inconvenient.
it because you're always inconvenienced, which means that it went against your plan, which was perfect conditions the whole way.
Yeah.
Which is absurd.
Yep.
Anyways,
like, I was trying to figure out a perfect spot in that little area because you knew it was coming. You knew that's why we were there.
I did.
And so I'm like trying to create some level of mystery at all. It could be anything. And I just wasn't seeing anything because it's just trees. It's kind of what you get at an arboretum. There were all sorts of trees and whatnot, and it was really cool to look at for sure. All the different species and what they were labeled as. It was a good walk around, and there was the occasional person, but none of it really struck me as picturesque until we got to that little pond that was there. But even then, there were so many people because it was like the only point of interest in that entire place other than trails. And so people would just congregate there, and I'm like, I don't want to do this in front of a whole bunch
Make
of
a scene.
people. Yeah, and so we just tucked away behind a tree that happened to be a spruce tree.
A spruce tree.
Yeah. Yeah, but what you were saying earlier, I don't think we were recording when you said it, but one of the points, actually, you know what? I will hold my tongue because you wanted to say it. It was about the compliments that you were getting at the wedding.
Yes.
And you said it better than I could, so take it away, wife.
Yeah, one of the best compliments that I got at the wedding, which I did receive quite a bit. The venue, the dress, the food, the vibe.
Which, real quick, the food. Oh my God, how lucky were we that the pizza came out good.
It was so good. And
Yes.
shout out to our homie Mike.
Would not have happened without Mike.
Shout out to our homie Mike.
Yep. Hang on.
Shasta's shouting out to the homie Mike.
Would not have happened without Mike.
No, it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But
Shout
back
out
to
to him
this.
for also paying for it too.
Yes,
that was
big giant shout out to Mike.
We lost the tips and the money that was intended for the pizza in that folder that got tucked away when we were doing all the beginning stuff
and
that
he's
day.
just like, don't worry about it.
And he's just like, don't worry about it. So huge help.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yes.
Anyway, the biggest compliment that I got at our wedding and at every party that we had leading up to it was that everybody could feel the love between us and that it like radiated. Like a couple of people came up to me at the wedding and were like, I got married today. Like my heart got married today.
You know what's going to irk me until we see him again? What's your uncle's name? The one that lives at your mom's house?
Craig.
What really, really irks me when we were at John's reception and he said something and I just like glanced at you and he was like, oh, look at the way that he looks at you. It's full of love. I'm like, I just glanced, bro. Like, you want to see that look? Just have her start talking.
Wedding.
Like, come to the wedding. Not even that. Like, I just feel like that was a drastic misrepresentation because it was only a glance. If only you saw the real thing.
I mean, but at the same time, if he can catch it in just a simple glance.
True. It's just going to irk me because I don't feel like it was a perfect moment.
Just wait, he says.
Well, it was because, like, he said something, you said something, and then Ben was talking right away. So I glanced at you, then Ben started talking, and I looked back. And so it didn't feel like it was one of those loving gazes. It was just a glance. And so I look forward this June to being able to show him what the real look is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have our pictures by then.
God, I hope so.
I really hope so, too.
Yeah. That's going to be fun. We should make a date out of that.
We should.
That's
Go
when we'll get the
pictures.
cheese. Do a little cheese date. And
a little charcuterie.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Some
apples.
Some prosciutto.
Some Honeycrisp.
Yeah. You know what is kind of alarming to me? The size difference between the Honeycrisp apples at Walmart versus Winco.
Yeah, GMO City.
Fuck, dude. They are about softball sized at Walmart, and at Winco, just under a baseball.
Yeah.
Not quite a baseball.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyways, what other topics do you want to cover?
Well, I was not done, sir.
Mm.
We just hopped around. Do you have somewhere to be?
I mean, I can think of someplace.
Oh my
Someplace
God.
that you're going to have to omit from the final recording.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I think that hearing that compliment was very reassuring. It was very reassuring to me. Not that I necessarily needed it, but it was cool to have all of my family who have seen me in 2 other like pretty serious relationships be like, I can actually see the happiness. Like I can feel it radiating.
I think a couple of them were surprised that you chose to get married.
Yes, absolutely.
They knew
anybody,
how you were.
Anybody that knew me when I was younger would be very surprised to find out that I got married.
Mm-hmm.
And that I plan to get children.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big wow. If I said that I was birthing some, people would like drop dead right there.
Probably, yeah.
They're like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Ashley would be like, I need some fucking proof. Like I need to be at the ultrasound with you.
You'd be
I need a
lizard
doctor's
person.
note.
Yeah.
She would be very shook. Sounds miserable. I was talking with Nan and Pop earlier about Shaylee giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
Freaks me out. And she's so close to it too.
Have you ever seen one?
Yes, I saw it when I was 7 years old. Hence why I'm so fucking
Jesus.
petrified now. Yes.
There's a lot of blood.
There's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
And like it gets so big.
I did not look at the nether bits because I was not related to or in a relationship with the person giving birth. And it would have been very weird.
That would be very weird.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
Ugh.
I don't think that the nether bits actually have an identity at that point. It's not somebody's vagina that's pushing out a baby. It's just
It's
a vagina.
a sack that holds this being.
Yeah, it's no longer a fuckhole. It is now
Your grandparents
a
might listen
highway
to
to
this, dude.
life.
Ew. You know what was kind of traumatizing?
What?
In health class? I think it was 9th grade for me. We watched the birth video, and holy shit, that was disgusting.
It's traumatizing.
And you know, because like high schoolers are probably the closest you will ever get to actual monkeys beyond a toddler.
Yeah.
And when they saw the vagina, the teenage boys,
They're like, ew.
hooping. No, we're hooping and hollering.
Ew.
Like, it's pussy. The girls are like, ew, that's going to be mine one day. It was weird. Like, the baby had a whole bunch of hair. So at the point when you could see the head coming out,
You're
and
like,
like
is that poon
merging
or-
with the hair of the woman, it was weird. It was very weird.
Just for a brief second.
And I am very, 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 very glad I was not present for the actual birthing of my brothers, because I think Eli was a natural birth, and then the twins were a cesarean.
Obviously.
And Dan's told me that when they were doing the cesarean, they had to like remove part of her intestine and just like set it on a hook or something. And he saw that, and I was like, I don't know if I could ever look at my wife the same again.
You just see her insides
Yeah,
just like hanging
I've been
out.
in there. I don't need to see them.
Yeah, that's gnar.
It's nasty.
And then the scar afterwards too.
I think
Like,
scars are pretty cool.
No,
so.
the scar is cool. I meant more like the healing process, like seeing the stapled up like goopy mess that's left over.
Damn. It's pretty cool.
I feel like we're very off topic.
We are extremely off topic. Wedding compliments. You know, we have to learn doing a podcast that we're not just talking to each other. We have a script to follow.
Yeah, or at least like a fucking line.
Because
like this is our baseline that we're trying to follow, and we need to like keep it within like here instead of like
I can talk to you all day and night and never get tired. But we do have a timer going. So
that's okay. There's editing software.
Yeah.
I can snip it out.
So we have you finished your thoughts about the compliments? Okay.
Yes.
You didn't give me the full list of bullet points, but I know that the compliments were one of them. What else you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Do you want to talk about the negativity?
I feel like it's hard to talk about it without calling people out because they know who they are.
Yeah. I mean, if that's a conversation better suited to friends,
we've talked to both of them. Both of the troublemakers at our wedding.
Wait, we? Oh, yeah. Oh.
Now I'm giving him flashbacks. I should have just let you forget.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have just let you forget.
I was serious when I said I could move on. I really was. It was unfortunate, but I'm not one to linger. So yeah, yours was a little bit more serious than mine anyway. So
see, I'm trying to decide what the best course of action is because I do not want to play it off like life is all sunshine and rainbows, right? But I also don't want to focus on the negativity either. But I kind of want to like paint a picture that like your day can still be perfect with some bullshit thrown into it.
I mean, you're going to have the bullshit. And with our two incidents, yours was a little more detrimental.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go into the details if you want to. But all things considered, the fact that we planned it ourselves without a wedding planner.
Yeah.
And those two things were the biggest incidents, and they're not even that big.
I mean, I would say the biggest one was the photographer, but that was not day of.
No, I'm talking specifically about day of. That's a whole other monster.
Day of was pretty amazing.
Yeah. And shout out to Mozo and Alice or Allison. Is it Allison?
Yeah, Allison.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to those two.
And Mozo's assistant.
I cannot remember
Carrie,
her name.
Maybe?
I couldn't tell you. But all three of them really came through.
They did.
We had some nonsense happen with our media company, which we have talked about.
Yeah.
And they definitely saved the day. And it also helped that Mozo had some kind of emotional investment.
Yes, it was awesome.
It transferred to the way he was filming too.
It did.
Like you could see it.
Like when he, when I was like reading my little note that you wrote me, he was like crying.
You were the one that was supposed to cry.
It was so cute. I cried at the end, but he was crying like most of the time.
That was the first time I'd ever drawn a goose on paper. And boy, was that a bad goose.
You know,
it's
fine. It was a cute goose.
I've since gotten a whole lot better. What really messed me up was the underbelly.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up looking like a Ford F-150 on the bottom side there, but yeah, it was cute.
It was cute.
Yeah, I wrote that in the bachelor suite. Like a lot of what was in there was stuff that did not make the vows. I just couldn't really find the right place for it. And you had already gotten me the gift of cufflinks, which real shame those both broke.
I left a review.
You did? Good.
I was
they were good
they're
for
absolutely
a bit,
adorable.
Yeah.
And a nice thought, but the execution needs work.
Yeah. They should be like welded together, not glued together.
Yes.
Can you even weld metal? Not the point. Not the point. The point is that I'm trying to help us keep to the baseline, but the point is day of. So I had written my vows. It took me a month, and I cried probably about 8 times trying to write them. And you could tell in my notepad as I was going through and transferring it to the paper that I would eventually read off of, all my little spelling mistakes because my eyes were blurry and I couldn't see the keyboard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was one point, I don't remember which part it was that I was writing, but I was like typing and literally sobbing through it.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So anything that I could not, because I wanted it to fit on one page, so anything that didn't make the cut went into that letter. And I wanted the letter to be one page, so anything that didn't make that, I just told you. Day of.
It was a very sweet note.
I'm glad you liked it. I hope he filmed it.
He did.
You know why I wanted that to happen?
Hmm.
In case we went the direction of, you're sitting there reading it, and that's how it starts our wedding video off of like, oh, I'm going to tear up.
Oh dear.
It starts our wedding video off, which we have to reach out to him about. I don't know if he ever texted back.
We have a plan on Saturday.
Righteous. But it starts off with you sitting there in your full getup reading that letter. That'd be fun.
It would be.
Yeah. That's just one of the many ideas that we could do.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
You're so sweet.
A love like ours really is 1 in a million.
It is.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you, but I have a hard time watching certain action movies or romance movies where the woman gets hurt or dies. Every time I see it, I just picture it happening to you, and I'm just, turn that shit off. I'm going to start throwing furniture.
You're like, I'm over it.
Yeah, I can't do it. I do on principle because I want to finish the movie and see what happens.
But you're all teary-eyed through it.
Oh, yeah. Like The Vow. You ever see that one? With Channing Tatum and I think it's Rachel McAdams.
I'm trying to think.
Where she gets in a car accident and loses her memory.
Oh,
like
yeah.
They fell in love and they were about to get married or something. And
he
then
tries to like remind her.
Yeah, he tries to remind her through other love. And I don't remember. Did they even end up choosing each other at the end of the movie?
I don't know.
You'd think so. But it was based on a true story.
That's
and
cute.
That's so fucking sad.
It's dedication.
That is so sad. Like, I think the message of that movie is what gets to me more than the actual filming.
Yeah.
Like if you lost your memory and completely forgot who I was, would you fall in love with me a second time? Yeah.
Would it be worth the wait?
I think it would be.
I feel like that's the real question. Would it be worth like missing out on all of your life? Just like trying to get me to remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would die for that.
Oh, dearie.
Yeah. So, other points you want to talk about?
Yeah, I guess we'll briefly touch on one of my bridesmaids. You know who you are. Let me know 8 a.m. day of that she would not be attending my wedding. And one of my other bridesmen, Jake, I love you. He was not able to make it, but he let me know well in advance. And so he was planning to do my makeup. And so my backup plan was to have my other bridesmaid do my makeup, the one that called out 2 hours before we left for the venue.
You're leaving out the best part. That your grandma knew days
Oh,
before.
yeah. Yeah, my grandma knew about it like a while before she actually told me, which was pretty bullshit. And then I tried having an adult conversation about it, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
After the wedding, I did not let it affect me day of.
Well, we were a little busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing my own makeup.
How long did it take your sides to heal up? Just one day they weren't
maybe
cut
like
anymore.
a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Just
brutal.
a PSA to all of those small-chested women out there, or the women who be wearing a backless dress, not being able to wear a bra. If you use boob tape, maybe try and get it off with like some water or something, because I took mine off night of my wedding and like
I took those off.
Ripped my skin off. Like a good chunk of it was bleeding. Had to get Band-Aids from the front desk of the hotel.
Yeah.
On our way out to get McDonald's.
And say that I tore them off because I will never forget seeing the skin remove itself from your body because of that tape. It was disgusting.
I like put my arm down and like felt the sting of my arm on like my freshly ripped off skin. And I was like, oh shit, I'm actually hurt. Because I was tipsy. I was not drunk, but I was definitely tipsy.
Well, and you were wearing them all day. So like you just get used to the discomfort. Yeah.
Well, it actually wasn't that uncomfortable while I was wearing them, but taking it off, I was just like, fuck. I was like, that hurt. And then I put my arm down and realized that I was missing skin. And I was like, oh, it really hurt. Yeah. It really hurt.
I took the first one off and it looked bad as it was. And I was like, ooh, that's definitely going to sting. And then we took the other side off and I was more careful knowing what would happen. And it was
still not.
Oh, you must have put the other side on first and it was on there for a lot longer.
Yeah, something like that.
It was worse. And also, I've said it so many times, but I'll say it on the record. For all of you out there who get McDonald's after your wedding, and I was being very judgmental about why you would do that, I now understand.
It's the only place open.
It's the only place open.
Midnight.
It's not because it was your first choice. It's because it's your only choice.
Yep. Yeah. The first one that comes to mind. It's dependable. Yeah. That's why. Yep. That's why McDonald's on your wedding night.
So actually, it's second to last because McDonald's, that particular location, closes at 3 a.m. and then the Jack in the Box down the road is 24 hours. So that's your last choice. Don't talk about
Jack in the Box unless you want to wake up with food poisoning the next day.
No, I mean it's all right. Their curly fries are pretty good. Something about those tacos. I just eat those things up. I know they're disgusting. You
always complain about like burping up garbage.
Yes, every single time.
So
I don't know why, but
maybe not Jack in the Box.
When I burp after eating Jack in the Box, it tastes like hot garbage.
I know that this is off topic.
Very
and
off
I am
topic.
very I'm choosing to go off topic real fast.
Okay.
Who the fuck said that a McDouble can cost $4.50? Who the fuck signed off on that shit?
You know, I think they need to take a page out of the Costco owner's book. And if I remember right,
a slice of pizza for $1.50.
No, it was the hot dog and drink for $1.50. And someone went to him and said, "Hey, I want to raise it 25 cents." And I think he threatened to kill the guy.
Whoa!
If he changed it, yeah, it's something crazy. I'm pretty sure he said, "I will kill you if you raise the price." We should probably look this one up
before we post.
No, hold up.
Let's pull up some receipts real quick before we start accusing Costco's marketing managers. Just like, I will kill you.
He did.
Hey, what is the story?
Delish.com. Costco's co-founder told the company's CEO he'd kill him if he raised the price of the chain's hot dogs.
God damn. It's deep.
I mean,
the glizzy goes deep.
I think the context is he didn't say it seriously. It was more of like if you do that, I'd have to kill you type thing. Oh, it's an old story. So here, I'm going to read it out as it's read. Ready?
Okay.
During a 2018 luncheon, Costco's current CEO, W. Craig Jelinek, told the story of when he was COO. He apparently told the co-founder and then CEO, Jim Sinegal, that they needed to raise the price of hot dogs because they were losing money by selling the iconic $1.50 hot dog and soda combo. For reference, the price has not been raised on the combo since 1985, and I believe it still hasn't. And it sounds like Sinegal was not in favor of the change. Quote, "I came to," in parentheses, Jim Sinegal, "once I said, 'Jim, we can't sell this hot dog for $1.50, Jelinek recalled, according to a post by 425 Business. "We are losing our rear ends." And he said, "If you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out."
They're like, we're taking the L on the glizzy.
They have so much other stuff there.
Literally.
Like, I think it'd be all right. Now, let me see where the part about the price.
That's how I feel about my work and labor. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. You can afford to pay us to have an extra person.
Hey, shout out to that guy, man, keeping the hot dog price the same. How long do you wager it'll be that way? Like, as long as that other
I
guy's
don't
still
know,
alive, maybe?
because I was having hope of the dollar store staying $1, and now it's $1.25. So times are changing.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they changed what you could get for $1. You used to be able to get some really neat shit for $1 at the dollar store back in the day.
You know what store really surprised me? The Five and Below.
That's
in
a
Salt
very
Lake.
shocking store. They have a lot of stuff for cheap. I think that that's because of like transporting it. Like, it's probably
I don't know what
made
it is.
real
There were
cheap.
some things there that were way overpriced. They were like $3 or $4. Also, spoiler alert, there's stuff that's not Five and Below. But some of their stuff that was on the cheaper side, I was like, you definitely should not be charging $4 for that. But maybe that's how they offset the cost.
Maybe.
So here, real quick, how they ended up figuring it out, quote unquote. Jelinek said that he doesn't think people would really care if they raised the price by $0.25 or so. It was the principle of the thing. In the end, Costco ended up building its own hot dog manufacturing plant in Los Angeles to make the Kirkland signature hot dogs and keep the price lower. So he figured it out.
That's hilarious. He's like, let's spend $2 million to offset the 25 cents. They're like, let's build a plant and do it all ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, with how big they are, it makes a lot of sense. We're off topic.
We are, but we had to look that one up before we started accusing certain
Yeah.
CEOs of death threats.
Big facts.
Yeah. Fun story. So,
Anyway, married life. It's been good.
we've talked about some of the negativity. We've talked
Yep.
about the comments. What else? You said there were like 4 or 5 things that you wanted to talk about.
Well, one of them was just like, how's married life going and
Okay.
what feels different. We already talked about that. So, I don't know. I just wanted to get on here. So,
It's serious now.
it
you
is
you have
serious
my
now.
last name.
I do.
Yeah. Legally too. When are you getting your license, by the way? Are you like, do you have to go
Next.
retake that?
I'm going to do it next Thursday. Or next Friday.
You have to go into the DMV to do it.
DOL. You don't call it a
Sorry,
DMV.
my bad. My bad. It's the DOL.
They get
here
really
in
mad
Washington.
there.
They do.
They get really mad.
They're very pretentious.
They
about
are
it.
very. They're like, that's next door.
I don't think the
We're at
DMV.
the wrong place.
I don't think the DMV exists in Washington. I think it's
It
just
does.
the DOL. Does it?
Yes, the DMV. It's like, oh, maybe it isn't.
Because the DOL handles just about every single license you
Well,
can imagine.
okay. So there is the DOL. That's the Department of Licensing, but the DMV is the Department of Motor Vehicles.
And I don't know if we have one of those.
Well, that is for like car registration, not for like person registration. It's not
See,
for like.
even then they call it like the title and tabs place. It's on the building as Washington Title and Tabs. Or something like that.
Well, and the thing is that like it's a driver's license division in Utah, and then a Department of Motor Vehicles.
Weird.
Anyway,
maybe it gets different in bigger cities, but over here we just have the DOL.
I'm changing my name next Friday.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Nice.
I think that's it. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining me, my husband.
You're welcome, wife.
Mental Odyssey is a Dream and Do podcast, produced and edited by yours truly. The music is owned by Chill Hop, and this song is Velocities by Sleepy Fish. Go check them out. Thanks for being here.